here. So why don't we just get a show of hands of 8th grade parents, 7th grade parents, 6th grade parents. All right, welcome everybody. I know the first week is a little scary and a little stressful, so we are here to help you and answer whatever questions you have. Why don't we start by just introducing ourselves, and we'll tell you a little bit about ourselves and our kids and where we are. So my name is Mary Elise Kelly, and I'm one of the co-chairs. I have 3 kids. All 3 have been here. I have a senior at LASA, a freshman at LASA, and a 6th grader who has cried a lot this week. So if anybody else has that, come on over. You guys?
I'm Rachel Stagers, and I have an 8th grade boy here and a senior at LASA, and I'm the secretary. And I'm on the PTA doing staff appreciation. So there's going to be stuff coming out for that. Keep an eye out.
And I'm Raji. I've got 7th grade boy-girl twins. And I have the best job, I think, of everybody because I get to write the checks to the teachers.
I'm Steve Rosen. I also have 7th grade twins, and Raji and I were fortunate enough to have known each other pretty much since they were. So for these multiple groups.
And he's the other co-chair.
So my name is Prachi, and I have a son, Arna, who started 7th grade, and I was in year 3 last year. We were freaking out in the first week, so hang in there. I'm a court lecturer, so she gets to write check, I just get to send email. Oh yeah, it's fine. So
Okay. And then we have Miss Carter here, who just took a sip of her coffee. Our magnet director, and Miss Coburn there in the back. And you guys will hear from them in a little bit. Mr. Webster.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm a teacher and a parent.
He's a 6th grade parent.
Oh, yeah?
Here's his parent.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So first thing, we're going to talk a little bit about what KMag is, what we do, and how lucky we are to have it. So Keeling, because we have the 2 different programs within one school, has 2 parent organizations. We have the PTA, which is involved with the whole school, so the academy and the magnet programs. And then we have KMag, which was formed to help the magnet parents and the magnet teachers and be kind of a liaison between them. We try to give magnet teachers support when they need it. We fund all kinds of things for them, from like jelly beans for a science class, or to things to dissect, to conferences. Each year we try to send, or we do send, one of the departments to a national conference. Last year I think English?
No,
Science. So I don't know whose turn is this
I
year?
think this year is
Social studies maybe? Okay.
I think I got that.
And we're hoping to maybe make that, instead of just 1 department that goes each year, try to make it 2 departments each year. Else want to jump in there?
Yeah, one of our other goals is also to continue to support teachers, of course. And so together with PTA, and I think we have Heather Way here, who's our PTA chair, to work with PTA to provide stipends to all teachers this year. And so we'll start off the year with a $100 budget for which they can receive a reimbursement over the course of the year. So we really want to, one of our goals as an organization this year is to continue the excellent outreach that's existed between the parents of the magnet program and also the teachers to ensure that whatever they need to do their job, we can try to provide as best we can.
Okay, we also have here Stephanie Jarnigan, who is in charge of recruiting all of the wonderful volunteers and coordinators that we have. And she's got a few that still need filling, and some committees that would love some more volunteers. So she's going to give us a little rundown.
Okay. I think last night we had someone email me that I think is going to take on 7th grade field trip. So now the 2 main jobs left we're looking to fill are 8th grade. We need assistants. There's several field trips and parties and promotion ceremonies that happen. We have a coordinator, Linda Tanow, who's fabulous. She will help you, but we need several volunteers to help take on like little pieces of that and work together. There are sign-up sheets for those in the back, and also new parent receptions. Remember when you just got accepted and you were kind of nervous but excited, and you brought your kids here, and there were people here with juice and cookies, and they had volunteers here to answer your questions, and kids to make you feel better about what was ahead. We need somebody to coordinate that. It's not a big job, but it's an important job. So we need a chair for that, and then we're set, except for just volunteers to help all the different chairs. So the sign-up sheets again are back there, or you can find on the website, email one of the chairs or me. Thank you.
And we also have Becky Spahn as our fundraising coordinator, and she wasn't able to be here today because of work, but she just wanted to let everybody know that that is up and running. Her committee is going. The fundraiser will kick off on the 22nd. It's going to be a 4-week fundraiser, very limited in time. And let's see what else she said. She keeps it short on purpose. And they also welcome all workplace matching donations, and all the contributions go to national conferences, entry fees for magnet, and things for the classroom and whatever we can provide for our teachers. So she will probably be here at the next meeting to give you a little bit more information.
Yeah, that's one way in which the PTA and KMag are different, and it's not always intuitive. The KMag, we try to keep it just through a very discrete period of time. We call it the no hassle fundraiser, so that you won't get solicitations over the course of the year, and you won't get one today, but eventually you will. And then it will be a relatively short period. It's kind of modeled on a public radio, public television sort of thing. They got their period in which they solicit their funds. So
last year was the first year we did it that way, and it worked really well, and we got a lot of good feedback from parents.
Yeah, but don't forget your PTA thing, because those signups are going on right now. So you can start your enrollment today.
Okay. Ms. Carter, you want to give us a little bit of a report on the first 3 days?
Oh, I guess I have to come up here and get video data. No, I'm not putting my coffee down. It's the beginning of the year. I know things have probably changed a great deal in your households this week compared to the summer. But here, it's been a really wonderful start to the year. We've got, well, I printed 1,269 schedules for the school this weekend. What was our number yesterday? 12?
We had 1220 at school yesterday.
Yeah.
Last year our high was 1181.
Yeah, so a few more kids. But even with those few more kids, seriously, it's been one of the best starts to the year I think I've ever experienced. And I'm speaking for myself when I say that, and I have had other people say the same thing. So it's not just me. But we're excited about another great year. We're going to have, last year you guys heard about our Keeling Conference at the end of the year, where some of our teachers had worked together throughout the year on improving something, or maybe they just are spectacular at something, and they, Mr. Webster, oh, he left. Never mind. No, okay. He was one of our presenters, but for professional development one day at the end of the year, we actually had our teachers be presenters in a little internal conference. We'll be doing the same thing again this year, but pretty quick in October. So October 10th is a PD day, and we've already rolled this out to our teachers. But what we realize is we've got a lot of talent right here. And if we just create structures for our teachers to work together and learn from each other, like last year we had some of our teachers actually shadow a kid for the day. And I don't know if we had a meeting since that actually happened, but the things that our teachers learned from that experience was spectacular, whether it was learning from another teacher or simply learning a little bit more about the kid's perspective. So we're continuing to really work on creating opportunities for us to learn from each other. And then also we send folks away to the national conferences every year and all that good stuff. But, yeah, I mean, I don't want to talk a whole lot right now because I think a lot of today is just giving you guys a chance to ask questions. So I'll leave that at that.
All right, thank you. Ms. Coburn, first couple thoughts?
Good morning. I'm Miss Carter. I have not yet had coffee. It's been a fun start. Thank you, 6th grade parents. This group is calm. We stand, I wear Converse because generally 6th graders run to the cafeteria. They've been walking. So that has been comforting this week. We have a lot going on. If you noticed, we have colored ceiling tiles. If you are a 7th or 8th grade parent, you've probably heard from your students. We can't roam anymore. We actually have to go to the bathroom closest to class. So the students are adjusting to that. We have been having some talks with our staff about students and their frontal lobes and how they're not fully developed and what that looks like with a cell phone. There was a point in time when we thought the student devices are going to be great learning tools. They're not really. They have a tough time controlling themselves. They toggle, you probably see it at home, and we realized they're not choosing to be defiant. This is just the generation. They don't control their personal technology well. So we're shifting back to using more campus devices. We will be trying to buy more of those devices. We're working already with PTA to get another set of Chromebooks so that we can shift. You'll also see, if you turn to the back, there's a sign that says, "Can't disconnect, help me help you." So your student may get a paper bag at some point this year. They hate to give up their devices. Teachers don't actually want their devices. We just want them engaged in class. So we're trying something new. Here's a paper bag. Put your phone in it until the end of class. So it's still in your possession. You don't have to freak out. We don't have your phone. But it'll help you hopefully stay more engaged in class. So that's a big shift that you might see this year and you might hear your students talking about. Other big things that are happening. For those of you who don't follow Facebook or the website or Twitter, Patty Hill has been recognized with the Presidential Award for Excellence in Math and Science. And that is one of the most prestigious awards you can get as a math or science educator. She will not be here back to school night because she will be in DC instead, meeting with the president and being recognized in the White House. Wow. She will also be doing a lot of professional development nationally. There's a $10,000 National Science Foundation grant that comes along with it. So we're very proud of her. And you might see her if you watch Fox 7 on the news tonight. So that's a pretty big thing for us as a campus. And our teachers they work really hard, and it can be a thankless profession. So it's nice to see one of our staff being recognized in such a big way. So that's a big thing that's going on right now. I think that's probably most of the beginning of the year. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Raji's going to give us a brief treasurer's report.
I am. Yep. Okay. Well, last year was a great fundraising year, thanks to Becky's efforts and all of the parents. We hope to have the same this year. We raised about $40,000 last year and spent about 27 of those. And I think some more technology requests are going to be coming in. And we're really looking forward to another great year and sending another department to a conference and supporting our teachers because we love them and they need our support. And one thing that the new parents may not know is that the Magnet program does not get extra funding, or that much extra funding, so it is up to KMag to give the teachers the stuff that they need for their amazing classes. So we hope we can count on all of you this year for our kids.
Okay, and now we're going to,
One thing that I didn't add, but I have to thank you all on behalf of the staff. The reaction the first week back when we were able to tell the staff that they had $100 to spend was amazing. Our teachers, they pick up books. They pick up random things that they see in a store that is going to benefit their students. They paint classrooms and they buy paint out of their own pockets. So for them to know that there's $100 that they can just turn in their receipts and get a reimbursement was a big, it was a big thank you for them. So thank you all for that.
We're going to have a PTA report. Laura, Heather, anybody?
Great, y'all. There's so many PTA
I
leaders
know,
here
it's
too, so
great.
y'all chime in if I
Heather
forgot
Way, our
anything.
PTA president.
Rachel and Stephanie, I see a whole bunch of our board members here. But yeah, I'm Heather Way. I'm president of the PTA this year. I have 8th grader and 6th grader, so like 2 kids at the same school for 1 year. We're relishing that. But I wrote down these announcements because I still haven't quite woken up yet, despite the coffee. We have our PTA meeting next Thursday, and we'll be providing a whole bunch more updates then. There's a whole lot of things going on around the school and things that we're plugged into and supporting. If you can't make that meeting, I want to refer you to our website. We updated it over the summer. We're trying to make that a portal where you can keep up to date on the things that we're supporting, our programs, and other things going on around the school. We meet typically the first Thursday of the month, and we won't be meeting in October, but then after that we meet typically the first Thursday of the month. The calendar's on our website. And our meetings are held in conjunction usually with, well, always with the principal coffee where Ms. Coper comes and gives updates, but also then we'll have a program after that that parents, we encourage them to stick around. And we pick topics that are relevant to things that are all in our minds. We're this year going to bring someone in to talk about access to drugs in middle school and how do you talk to your kids about drugs, because drugs do exist and some of our kids have access to them. So we'll be talking about that, and then some other topics we have this year on students and stress. I think we've talked about doing a topic on, so just stay tuned for those. We're in the midst of our fall membership drive. Stephanie Jarnigan is, in addition to being a KMag leader, is our membership chair for the PTA, and we encourage everyone to please join the PTA. Our mission is to support the success of every child here at Keeling and the whole school, and we rely in large part on parents becoming members to help make that happen. So we are asking that every parent join the PTA. It's $10 for an individual, $19 for a family, but we also offer scholarships so that everyone has the opportunity to join the PTA. We have a new business supporter program this year we're real excited about. Lynn Boswell, who's a Dynamo parent, has put together a Google map of all the businesses in our feeder boundaries, our neighborhood boundaries, and there's like 500 businesses on there, and she's sending out letters to many of those. But businesses, if you have a business also that you want to support the PTA with, we have a whole new recognition program, and all information about that is available on our website. And then we have 2 community building events coming up. We have a spaghetti supper. It was originally scheduled for the first week in October. It's now the last Tuesday in September, so stay tuned for that. And I should add also, the Hornet Herald is our primary portal for communicating with parents, and so if you're not, for some reason, getting that once a week, please make sure you get onto that. That's where the school is sending out information. The PTA and KMag also use that as our primary communication portal. And then Secret PAL program Rachel mentioned for teacher appreciation, that's coming up soon, so just stay tuned for news about that. It's one way that we show our teachers how much we appreciate them and love them. And spirit wear sales are happening now. We'll be at back to school night selling those. You can also put in an advance purchase on the internet on our website, and your kids pick those up during the lunch hour. We don't deliver them, so, and as long as they listen to announcements they'll hear about, and they'll see them in the cafeteria. Is it typically once a week or once a month? I don't know how often we're doing. Once a month now. Once a month that they're in the cafeteria, maybe even more at the beginning of the school year. But we'll be, we have new t-shirts in this year, and there's hoodies and stickers for your car and all sorts of fun stuff. And Jennifer, I'm blanking on Jennifer's name. Bunce is heading up that program. And then, last but not least, we have a whole bunch of volunteer opportunities and ways you can get plugged in and support this school. I just got a request from a teacher who's looking for mentors to help at certain periods of the day to help kids who are struggling academically and need some support. We have information about that on our website. So that's just, if you're looking to plug into the school, again, just to refer you back to our websites, a great place to go to look for opportunities to get involved in the school. Thanks.
Remind them of the URL of our website.
Yeah, it's www.keelingpta.org. Thanks.
Laura, do you want to say a few things too about grounds? One of the things I appreciated as a parent coming in was a lot of the effort that was going on around school for beautification projects. And if you even take a walk around a school, there's an amazing garden, there's amazing garden structure out there, there's great recycling programs. And a lot of this we have Laura DeCarlo to thank. So Laura, do you want to speak for a few minutes?
Well, and Dusty Harshman is here. He is our our landscaping grounds day chair. So we just had a grounds day on Saturday before to beautify the school, kind of make it look like people care and that it's well maintained. Because of course AISD does provide grounds work for all of the schools, but it's just hard for them to do every little detail of things in as much loving care as we'd like. So I'm the environmental chair, and there are subcommittees within the environmental committee. and one is urban gardens. And I don't know if Elizabeth McBride is here. So our urban gardens are the gardens that Steve was just referring to on the west side of the school, built a few years ago. And there's a class, the gardening class, that this is its 3rd year. And that's a magnet and an academy joint class. And parents can volunteer to help with that. We have one parent who's going to be coming in and helping, and I've done that before. You're talking about the garden shed that we have, and we all grant money and donations and all kinds of good things have come in to help us do that. And then we also have, besides the urban gardens and the grounds days, and we'll be scheduling more grounds days throughout the year, so watch for that. We also we've had twice now a big garden picnic, and we're going to be combining that with a catch event this year, a coordinated approach to children's health, that's catch. And so there's lots of good stuff. And we also do are monitoring the composting that we have. And we have all, the whole campus has the commercial composting just like the elementary schools do. But we focus on doing it in the cafeteria. So today, if you have a paper cup that was from the coffee, you can stick it in our compost. I'll make sure I'll collect those. I don't think we have a compost bucket in here now. Yeah, and we also do inkjet cartridge recycling. So yeah, so you'll hear more about that. There'll be things on the Morning Herald.
Thank you. All right, guys, we are ready to answer your questions. So yeah, oh, Diane.
So 2 things that I thought of while other folks were talking. One, if you haven't figured it out yet, we do have a new website. It is now keelingmiddleschool.org, not Keeling Hornets. If you go to Keeling Hornets, well, at the end of this month, it'll be gone. But Keeling Hornets is the old. Out with the old, in with the new. KeelingMiddleSchool.org is the new website.
Any chance that Keeling Hornets will get a note that says go to Keeling Middle School?
Yeah, well, there is one right now. If you go there, it tells you to do that. But if you click anyway, yes. And it is way easier to navigate than the old one, and a lot of that credit actually goes to Ms. Coburn, so thank you. There were 2 things. Oh, the shirts this year are so cool. The t-shirts, seriously, there are new t-shirts this year, and I like them a lot.
They fit nicely.
They do.
Yeah.
It's not often I get super excited about a school t-shirt. I'm super excited. So anyway, there you
y'all
go.
will get to see them. We'll send a picture out. Most of our staff, almost 100% of the staff was in Keeling shirts Monday, which was very fun. So we have a big first day picture.
Like I said, one quick thing about the website, and it's true, you'll get a redirect box. I think if you go to the KeelingHornets.org website, it'll say okay and read more. And I thought, I don't know which one to push, because they're not mutually exclusive. So it's the read more that will redirect you to the website. And then you can find PTA's and KMag's website off the parent tab on the Keeling Main School website. So you'll find information there. We're going to be migrating from our old website. We're going to be migrating documents like the handbook and things like that over to the new website. So hopefully by the time we next meet in a few weeks, we'll have all of those documents updated and then uploaded for people to see.
I have a parent question.
Yeah.
When is the athletic form due? And when I tried to click on that link on the website, it gives me the Spanish language version, which I happen to speak Spanish, but it would be better for to have an English language one to open up to. I don't know if that was just my computer, but I know that's due like right away, right?
It somewhat depends on which sport you're talking about.
Okay.
But yeah,
It's not due just to take
essentially
PE.
the sooner not just to take PE. No.
Okay.
Not at all.
It's
To
just
be in
practice. You have
athletics.
that form. So if you're a soccer player, not yet. You have to have it for practice.
Just to do a sport. You don't have to have it
Right.
to PE. Okay. So please check out that link. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will.
Right, so
Did somebody move my folder and little.
We did, was that important? I thought that was classroom stuff, we put it on the floor.
No, that's fine. I just want to write stuff down like that. That's all.
Where is it? Oh.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Carter's linked to that. I'll tell you a little bit from my experience because our kids have been here a year, but I didn't know until this week how the athletics, there's actually an athletics program in PE, which I think for 7th and 8th graders, for 7th graders largely is available, not for 6th grade. PE is a one-year course for 6th graders, but for 7th graders it's a semester. And if they intend on playing a sport or if they're just interested in overall athletics, there's an athletics option. But if you want to take that, your child will need to submit the ISD PE information.
I'm glad you clarified that. I knew there was something in addition that we were doing. Okay.
Yeah, and as a parent, I was
that is due.
Yeah, and I was
right
talking.
away.
Yes,
Okay.
they'll need to submit that. I think the coach asked for it for this week.
Okay.
And those forms need to be into your child's physician no earlier than April 15th of this year. So if they have one, a physician's form that predates that, they'll probably need to get it updated through their physician or their nurse practitioner. And as a parent last year, I wasn't aware. I was talking with other 7th grade parents whose kids took the athletics class and they loved it. And then when the kids were signing up for classes, I didn't see the athletics option. And so it wasn't until this week that I realized, you know, it's just they go into the PE course, and then the coach will talk to the kids and say, who's interested in athletics? And they'll come home and talk to you. But going into 7th grade, if you think that your child may be interested in that, get your physical taken care of, both because for UIL, they'll need the form for athletics, and also because for that class, they'll need it to get to the coach.
I would say by 8th grade, I hadn't had that figured out, so thank
Well,
you.
no, I didn't learn until this week. So.
Sixth grade.
He really liked it, and he said one of the best things was they got cool Keeling shorts, and then they didn't have to wear the t-shirt with their name written on it.
Yes.
I know that's
Good stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so while we're taking questions, if you guys, there are a few copies of minutes around from our last meeting in May, I guess, and if you guys could just kind of look at it, we're gonna have to approve those in a little while. So, yes.
Okay, a question about PE athletics also. We're trying to go online to purchase the $7 PE t-shirt, and it looks like it's not available yet on the website. Is it okay to send in the $7 check
Yes.
or cash?
I did it yesterday. I sent it in with my daughter, and she came home with 2 t-shirts. So.
Okay, great, thank you. Thank you for answering these silly questions. And when do they actually start?
Dressing out?
Yes, they
I
get to
think
actually,
it's next week.
and they get to use their little locker every day. They don't have, that
They need a
stays
lock
there.
for their locker.
They need
How
a
big
lock.
It's
Well,
this big.
The girls have a basket.
Okay.
And it's a lock, and my kids tended to, I don't know if they left their stuff or not. They can either leave it because they have a basket, I believe, or they can clear it out and bring it home every time. Boys have a locker.
Boys have
My
a
son
yay
never
big.
told
They
me.
have
Holds a
little-
shirt,
It's
it's
just
yours.
the same
baby
thing,
locker.
a little
It's
baby
about the
locker.
same size as the
As the
basket,
basket,
just a
okay.
little locker
Yeah.
instead of a basket.
And they can leave their stuff with their lock. And
They can.
But remind them that it needs to
It
come
needs to
home
come home
every
to be
day.
washed.
Everyone else will appreciate that.
You want to experience an interesting smell?
Yes.
I know where to find it.
No, they have 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Or they can just take their shirts back and forth, that's what my son does.
Yeah, mine did that
That
too.
way it gets
And I
washed.
bought 2 for each child, and
Yeah.
that way, usually there's a clean, if I manage to dig them out of the bottom of their basket.
Exactly.
Do you make the checks out to Keeling Middle School or just?
Keeling Middle School, I
Yes.
think.
Other
What do they
questions?
do with their backpacks when they're, if they don't fit in those little baskets, they just leave them there?
I think so.
Yeah, the locker rooms are locked up during PE class, so nobody's in there during class. It's just when kids are in there changing, so.
Where's the lost and found? I know that, but just for the new parents, like if your kid loses their hoodie.
Yeah, we just kind of spread stuff out on the stage in the cafeteria. And
If it's
that's,
technology or something,
well, yes.
$1, it'll be in the program office.
True. Yeah, we don't spread iPads out. But
But if they leave it in the classroom, the teachers don't always transport it to that, so you might need to check back to that classroom.
True, or it might even just take them a little while to get it there, but yeah.
And there's no, like in elementary school, where if their name was on it, it somehow finds their way back to the child?
No, I mean, if we have something that is, like, if I find a backpack, I go through it and try to find a name so that we can get it to the kid. So if we see a name, then if it's just a first name, then that might be hard.
And
But,
clothes, probably not as much.
No.
yeah, I mean, If it's possible, we certainly try to, but, yeah.
The teachers are generally pretty wonderful about that. Our son left his violin in Spanish yesterday, and so at 2:53 I got a phone call from a Spanish teacher saying, just to let you know, and then 2 minutes later he was running back into the room before he got on the bus to catch his violin. So they're usually there.
That's why he was sprinting back into the room.
That's probably not the only reason why.
That explains it.
Yes.
So I was like, is he riding a bus or is he, what's happening?
Yeah, sorry about that.
That was it. No, that's okay.
The last time he was sprinting through the halls.
Hey, he made it back. It's all good.
Actually, can I just say something about that? If the kids can leave instruments in the orchestra room for the day, because that kind of thing is tricky.
I have a question. So one of the things that, even though my son's not in 8th grade, that has constantly tripped me up is I've never really got a feel for after-school clubs, like when they are, and so my sense is I seem to recall that there was going to be an effort to actually list what they are and when they meet, because it's been real kind of ad hoc, and I think mainly really they're supposed to listen to announcements, but they don't. So maybe the phones and bags will help with that, but still.
So 2 things. One is we send announcements after advisory now. We will be pushing those after Hornet Herald. So if you're getting Hornet Herald, you'll see the announcements that your students are getting through advisory that way. If you don't get Hornet Herald, you can see it on the website. The other is we will be posting clubs. Teachers are still working on deciding who's sponsoring what and when they're going to meet. If you go on the website under Student Life, there is a link that says clubs and organizations, and it says coming September 1st. So it'll be there.
Oh, super, because I always hear about cool clubs, but I can never find them or actually connect with them. The only thing we really ever figured out was chess club. So it's very helpful to do those.
Is there still, I noticed the website's different. It used to have the departments, and you could find the teacher to find their website to find their office hours. Is that still somewhere on the website to figure out when a teacher's office hours are?
It's, well, you have it in front of you, so.
So under About Us, or also on the home page, there's a staff directory link. And on the staff directory, you can click a last name and get directly to a website. There's also an office hours column. It's not populated. It should be next week. So you'll be able to see every teacher, hear their office hours, click their name, and go to their website.
And that's a good thing for the new kids to be able to go get a question answered. Encourage your kids to go to the office hours.
And also that they can go to other teachers, because like my son last year, all of his core classes had office hours at the same time on Wednesday. And so he would have to go to teachers that he didn't know in the same subject to get help, which made him very nervous, but was a good thing for him to have to do to get help. So you can find other teachers in the same department.
So they stay after school for the office hours, and they can hop on a bus that leaves at 5?
5:15. Yeah, that's the late bus.
And how?
And if your student is riding the late bus, please make sure they know their home address. Especially if you've recently moved, it's also helpful if they know the closest landmarks.
Yeah, they need to, go over with them, like they're supposed to drop them within 2 blocks of your house.
Got it.
And they might have to be a little assertive about that, and they need to, understand where the major cross streets are near them so they can help the bus driver sometimes.
Got it. So they just tell the bus driver, this is my address. Right.
Yes. And then they need to pay attention. They need to not, because they can, sometimes, if they're not paying attention, they might end up.
So it can be a long bus ride home if you have someone far south and someone far north.
Well, no,
there are multiple buses by region of the city. If you go on the website under parents and click transportation, the late bus routes are up. So you can see this is the bus number that my student will be on, and it shows which areas of the city each bus covers.
Well, and people there will help them, right, if they're not.
Yeah.
And just so you know too, like the beginning of the year is always a little rocky with transportation. If you can imagine, I mean, we've got kids coming from literally all over Austin ISD. We had, I counted yesterday, in the afternoon, there's 17 buses out there. So, and that's just us. And then we've got all the other schools and all the thousands of kids. And somehow, somebody manages to make routes to get them all where they need to be. So, please do. I know that there have been some issues, especially with some South buses. being a little overloaded and all, but transportation, they are working through it, and they really are. Like, they're insanely responsive.
Yeah, they've
as
been
a
here
rule.
after school monitoring.
Yeah,
the
they've
buses and crowds.
been here every day. Yesterday, 5 minutes later, they had a second bus here to put the overflow kids on. Anyway, they're working out routes and they'll get there. So thank you for your patience through that if it's affecting you. But having said that, if you do have issues, don't hesitate to reach out to us. And as a rule, what we'll say is please let transportation know. But I mean, we will too, but if they know something is an issue, they're on it. So.
If you want a permanent bus switch, we're in one of the south buses, and it was better yesterday already, but it still gets home like 30 minutes later than the other buses that are a block away, like literally a 2-minute drive. So I'd like to switch my child, but how do I do that?
Well, first, if I were you, I would wait a little while before you do that, just in case it turns out different. But it is possible to have a bus pass that's just a standing bus pass.
Okay.
So,
It takes
and those
probably a good 2 weeks for them to really iron out how many kids are actually riding and get it really. So just try to be patient the first couple of weeks, and keep in mind we're really fortunate that we have busing for the magnet program, and there's always conversations about budget cuts, and that's a big expense, and so give them a couple of weeks to let it settle in, and then be very polite when you call.
Can I suggest something? If you've been bringing your child because you think it's like, at the beginning of the year I want to drive them, but later they'll take the bus, don't do that. Have them take the bus, because they're counted. They're counting how many kids are at each stop and figuring it out. So get them on that bus.
Yeah. Very true.
Also, there is a link on the website, I think, to your bus pass so you fill that out. So say your kid wants to go home with their friend on a different bus, you have to fill out that form with the other bus number and your signature, and that child has to have it turned in the morning.
Yes. They turn it in the morning in the program office. Ms. Barrera actually goes through, and she has this thing that tells her how many kids are on every bus. And she looks and goes, "Oh, this one's full. I can't put 5 more kids on this bus." So sometimes bus passes will get denied if that's the situation. So always have a plan B just in case. But if there's plenty of room, then she says yippee hooray every single time. I'm just kidding. But she says thumbs up, and I get a stack of them and sign them, and she makes a copy so we have records of which kids are on which bus, and then it's delivered back to the kid their last period of the day, so that they don't have too long to lose it.
Right.
And ta-da.
And if you don't know you have to do that, and you just think you're going to send a note with your kid to give to the bus driver on the bus driver will not let them off the bus.
True.
They will take them back to they will take them back to school, or they will take them back to their bus stop if it happens to be on that route.
If they're on their normal bus, but they want to get off at a different stop.
No,
they
that's
don't go with that.
Bus pass. Yeah.
Do they? So you can fill out a bus pass for a different stop.
Yes, that's one of the little choices on
If
there.
it's not their stop, the bus driver will not let them off.
Although after a few times, if your kiddo regularly gets off at a different stop, the bus driver gets used to that, knows your kid, and is okay with it. But the first few times, I would get the pass. Because otherwise you're not.
I'm sorry? Where's the contact information? I wanted to ask that too for transportation.
For transportation.
Is that a link on the website?
Under parents, there's a transportation tab, and it has bus pass request for first number.
Yeah. In our household, we just keep a stack of bus passes next to the door because the kids don't always tell you until the morning, "Oh, I'm going to go home with so-and-so." It's like, well, that's not good. You got to coordinate with the other parent. But, if you have those empty passes handy, you can fill it out, sign it, give it to your child, and then coordinate with the other parents necessary. If you don't have that pass, chances are your child will not be able to get on that other bus. They are pretty strict.
So it sounds like that transportation information is under the parent tab on the website.
Parent transportation, the form is there, and also the number for AISD transportation.
Okay, had a great success with the Where's the Bus app the first day.
Yes.
And then it's
Oh, that's
Second
right.
day wasn't so good. We did miss the bus because I thought the bus was 4 miles away and it indeed was not. So that's okay, but I'm just saying it's just like what you said, it's taking time. Yeah, working yesterday, so.
So 30 minutes and then
No drama.
I will say this, like Ms. Carter said, I found the district to be pretty responsive. There was one time last year, early on in school, we didn't have the app, and the bus, our kids hadn't arrived home about 30 minutes after the appointed time, so I called the district office. Somebody picked up immediately. They've got GPS in the morning. They said, oh yeah, let's see where the bus is. He was able to tell us they had a routing issue, and there was a new driver, so, and you can see that from his information, so he just let us know, and he said, yeah, it's track. And that was the only issue we ever had all year, but calling the district bus line, typically, I was going to pick up the phone.
I think the Where's the Bus app is brand new.
Yes.
And then it just you need to make sure you refresh it. Once you load that information, it doesn't always refresh itself.
Yep.
Like a Google map.
Can I just add on the bus drivers, that is probably the hardest job you could have in ASD is to drive around middle school kids. And so we have as part of our teacher appreciation plug, just to do, I'm gonna plug some of the work that Rachel's overseeing. We, for teacher appreciation, we appreciate also all the staff and bus drivers and custodians, everyone that makes this school successful. So one of the appreciation events we'll have, are we doing the bus drivers again?
Yeah.
Do you know when that's gonna be?
I think it's in spring.
In the spring. Okay.
Yeah.
I know we're still putting together the schedule.
Yeah.
So just so you know, like we appreciate our bus drivers too, and they do really hard work, and one of the things that will be happening this year.
I think Pokemon Go may be one of the best things for bus drivers ever, because kids will be quietly talking with each other. Call your child while they're on the bus if they have a phone to hear the background level discussion going on, realize what it's like to have like 50 of those kids going on in the background. I can barely handle 6 if they're in the back of our minivan. But I want to bring one thing about after-school activities, because this we learned over the course of the year as well. Back to school night is a great time to learn about after-school activities, because you'll see desks set up in the lobby of the building with different teachers, organizations giving out information about after-school activities. There are activities both at school and close to school. Our kids learn